Hello. I'm trying to get out of the brilliant light. There we go. That's better. Happy Sunday to you, wherever you may be. There's mini me in the background. I haven't made a video this early in a long time. I didn't know I was going to have to readjust for the light, this beautiful light that is here right now. So hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi guys, I see you there, but you know how my comments are. They probably won't stay there for more than a couple seconds, and I get easily distracted anyway. So I woke up this morning with quite a few less subscribers than I had when I went to bed, which was a little bit surprising to me, even though I know exactly what this was about. I have been talking about God as a non-entity, as an energy field for many, many months, but apparently yesterday, for some reason, that was too much for some people. So I didn't mean to insult anybody's beliefs or anything like that in any way. I didn't at all. God is brilliance. God is joy. God is creation. God is illumination. God is unlimited potential. So God is not a man in the sky. I was surprised that so many people had an issue with this, because this has been the way I've been talking about God for at least the last 6 months, if not longer. God is a field of unlimited potential, of love and creation that created everything that ever was, ever is, and ever will be. That does not change anything. Though I guess it's a matter of being comfortable versus uncomfortable, because sometimes we feel the need to have reassurance from a person, whether that be God or any other person. So just know that I do not mean to insult anybody's religious stance by any form of the imagination. But if you're raised in one certain religion, like I was raised Catholic, and you study other religions, if you go past the norm or your own personal upbringing about what God is or is not, then you will know that there is a thread that runs solid through God being a field of illumination, of creation, of wonder, of exploration, and unlimited potential of creativity. And so whatever energy you put out into that quantum field is what you get back out of it. And I've been talking about this for many months. So I was quite surprised by the reaction from some of you. Though some of you may have reacted, and maybe you're still here, but many people reacted in a way where they are no longer here and part of this channel. I will not change who I am or what I know for anyone. And the fact is that I once believed that God was a being in the sky, like many other millions of people do. But once you expand your awareness past religious dogma or your religious upbringing, there is so much more to it. God is the unlimited creative potential in a quantum field, meaning there is meaning to God and everything that that illumination encompasses. But it also means that someone is not judging you or passing judgment on you for your behavior, your actions, or anything that you do in physical life, in creation. God learns through creation itself and through the creation that God's creation creates and learns through itself. So this is a quantum field of love and creation without judgment. This video is going to be about what is rising to the surface and what I have noticed that's been rising to the surface through other people who have been reaching out to me in this past 1 week's time. Sorry to keep moving around. I'm trying to keep from being blinded here. Okay, maybe there we go. So, what's rising to the surface right now? Right now, we are in the season of Libra. And the sun sign of Libra is about balance. It's about justice. It's about the focus on balance and justice and harmony within relationships. It's also about peacemaking. It's also about peacekeeping. It's an amazing energy. Libra season is always very amazing energy. The full moon tonight, October 9th, or maybe it's the 10th in some places in the world, is in the sign of Aries. And Aries is all about passion and fire and burning anything in your path that is an obstacle to your forward movement on this planet in the way of creation on a personal level. The interaction between you and the quantum field of God that says, anything I give to my reality, anything I give to that quantum field, unlimited potential, I get back, but in greater form and in greater abundance. So while we're in the calm, easygoing Libra season of balance and justice and harmony on a personal level, Aries is very fiery, and this full moon is bringing an amazing amount of fire to us to get us ready for my personal other favorite, Scorpio season. The fire of Aries will burn anything in your path to forward movement. So that can be uncomfortable, but also it can give you incredible passion to paint, to play the guitar, to sing, to dance, to love, and to be in joy. It's a very amazing, amazing energy. Aries being a fire sign, while in the sign of Libra, also brings us internally the need to speak our truth, to hold our personal power, and to step forward into who we really are at a soul level. So it's a really great gift, this Aries full moon. You will feel the need to speak your truth, your fiery passion, your artistic creativity to others, and they will feel the need also to share that creative, fiery, unlimited potential of creation with you as well. This is very different energy than any full moon, we've had in quite a while. This means that truth will be rising in the surface to the surface within your physical body. It also means truth will be rising from the core of the planet up into our biosphere. And the truth of the core and the planet is that the core of this planet holds not only the Akashic record, so that is the record of everything that is, that will be, and that ever was. But it also holds the template to all organic and sentient life forms on this planet. So the energy rising out of the core of the planet, being in alignment with its true blueprint, will mean that all sentient life will morph back into its original blueprint. We know there have been many alterations on this planet and many other planets in our solar system when it comes to our original form and the form we are in now. So this means changes that were made intentionally to us and to other branches of sentient life are morphing back into their original blueprint. And that is amazing. And when I speak of this, anything that has altered organic sentient life will be realigning with its original organic blueprint. So that means the body will be purging. During this DNA upgrade, the body will be purging anything that's inorganic from the system, and so will the ley lines of this planet. So, pollution, chemicals, medications, anything that you've put in your body, intentionally, knowing or unknowingly, to your own harm, will rise to the surface, and then today, tomorrow, this next whole week. So be patient, be understanding, and know that that's something that is happening to you, that we are releasing at a cellular level anything that no longer serves us energetically, but also physically in the form of things that we have ingested, pollutions that we have been a party to on this planet, things that are in our atmosphere. All of sentient life, the plants, the other animals, will be doing this as well, realigning with their original blueprint. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water in this process of detoxification. The moon is always, always, always a time of detoxification. That's when things rise up and people sometimes get fiery, which is not absolutely necessary. Just be in touch with how you feel, your passion, your energy, your drive, your ambition, your brilliance, your joy, your creation, and your personal illumination. Express yourself artistically and musically and passionately. And when we do that, we don't have the other negative forms that are the opposite of that. When we experience a lot of negative emotions around the full moon, it's because we are purging something. But what I'm saying to you right now is that we are purging things that we have put in our own bodies, but we're also purging changes that have been made to us by outside influences, and also alterations and pollution that has come on this planet for a really long time. Drink tea, drink water, drink something so this process will be coming out of you with more ease and more grace. I've really been shocked to the amount of people that I've done readings for lately, where it comes up that water becomes a big part of their reading. I always feel like that's something we know, that we all comprehend and understand the importance of keeping our auric field and our cells clear and free. But I'm mentioning it because so many people are just not drinking water. I also want to say that the people that reach out to me that are not drinking water are the same people that are telling me that they're having a hard time being in touch with their higher selves, or hearing messages from their higher selves or the angels or anyone else that they're trying to contact. And the reason you're having a hard time with that is because your entire message board, your entire SOS system within you relies on water to transport and deliver messages from your heart to your cells, from your lungs to your cells, from your brain to your cells. So you could have tons of messages from your higher selves, from your guides, from your angels, from your ancestors. But if you're not drinking water, this is the way I've seen it. Those messages are sitting in the periphery of your auric field and not reaching you. So please, if this is something you're having an issue with, is being in touch with your higher self or anyone else you're reaching out to for assistance, know that this plays a part in this that's bigger than anything you could ever imagine. Water keeps the flow of everything. That's the flow of your health, the flow of your joy, the flow of your light, the flow of your illumination, and the flow of your messages coming in from outside of you, and even the messages coming from yourself, from your higher self, from your multi-dimensional aspected oversoul group. If you're not drinking water, you're not going to be hearing those messages, or you're at least not going to be hearing them quite as well. And I'm sharing that with you because it's been such a repeated message to me in the last 3 months. So this Aries full moon, bringing fire, bringing passion, burning everything in your path that is in the way for you of your personal freedom, your personal illumination, and your personal path forward is huge. The truth rising to the surface in this Aries new moon will have you wanting to speak your passion to people, speak your truth to people, to be heard, to be understood, and to be appreciated. And those around you will be expressing this to you also. So when someone reaches out to you, really take the time to make sure that you're listening. A lot of times as adults in conversations, someone starts to talk, and as soon as they start to talk, we're already thinking about what our reply is going to be. That's just something we learned, I believe, from our education system. It's not a human fault, but take a deep breath and remember that someone is reaching out to you at this time to speak their truth, their artistic expression, and their passion and desire to you, towards you, about you. Make sure to take a deep breath and put on your listening skills. Really open your ears and open your heart to what that person is saying to you. I think a lot of times when we don't feel heard, it is because people are responding to us, what we've said, or they're already thinking about how they're going to respond to us before we're finished talking. And it's both ways. Both parties are doing this. But really stop and take a breath and listen to what people are saying to you at this time. It's so imperative when all of this is rising to the surface about expressing your creativity, expressing your desire, and expressing your truth. So the truth rising to the surface with this full moon, that means it's rising to the surface in every facet of your life, not just your personal life and your everyday surroundings. As I said, we have the original core template for Earth, humanity, and all sentient life rising from the core and into the biosphere. We have old, outdated things that need to be left behind, that no longer serve us, that are in the grids, the 3D ley line system of this planet, that will also be rising to be cleared, to be healed, to be forgiven, and to be listened to. So if you're clairvoyant, clairaudient, even just mildly empathic at this point, you're going to be hearing a lot of things in the next 48 hours, and the next week as well. Not only from your friends, but from the core of the earth. Not only from your family, but from all of sentient life. Everything is rising to the surface. Now let us not forget the 3D aspect of rising to the surface beyond organic life. Anything that is hidden in an agendic kind of way by our government, by powers that wish to usurp control over humanity, those things also will be rising to the surface. So we're talking people working in corporations for many years or many decades may suddenly come out and tell the truth. They may blow the whistle, or they may go to someone in the community that's known to speaking to whistleblowers. So expect this not only on a personal level, but also expect it in your reality on the world stage. The need to reveal, the need to be fiery and passionate and create a new way internally, personally, is going to also affect what we're seeing in physical reality. So expect a lot of whistleblowing in the next couple weeks, a lot of revelations, okay? So things being revealed that were once hidden. Hidden information and revelations on this world stage are going to start to rise from now to the end of this year like you have never seen before. So expect that. God is brilliance. God is joy. God is creation. God is illumination. God is our connection to creativity, our connection to the unlimited field of quantum reality when it comes to creation. That is the power and the glory and the brilliance and the illumination of what God is. God not being a bearded man in the sky does not take anything away from you. If anything, it's an expansion of what and who you are, because you are a fractal of God from the inside out. And we are creatively expressing our own need to be now in fiery alignment with the true soul spark of who we are. And I wanted to make sure that I expressed that for the many people that were, I'm not sure what the word was, but there was a lot of confusion, a lot of distraction, and a lot of disappointment in some of the things that I said yesterday. Again, God not being a person, but a field of quantum unlimited potential gives you more potential than even believing that God is a person making a judgment on you. There is no judgment on you from God or any being outside of you. Nothing is making a judgment on you but you. And I want to talk briefly about judgment. because I know, and I've been to 12 different kinds of churches, you guys. I've also been to synagogue. I've also been to temple. I've been around when it comes to religion. This is something I studied for 2 decades. God is a thread of brilliance and illumination and creativity that has nothing to do with organized religion. God is never judging you. And I want to tell you very briefly how judgment works. If I judge myself for anything, for my looks, for the mistakes that I've made, for the lessons that I've learned, for anything, any judgment that I've ever made on myself stays within my body's auric field. So when you believe or feel or have a inner knowing that someone is judging you, I'm not telling you that people are not judging you. I'm telling you that God is not judging you. Nothing in the angelic realms is judging you for experimenting, for creating, and for exploring life. That is what we came here to do. We explore till we learn how to love to the fullest. We explore until we learn how to fill every cell of our bodies with joy to the fullest. That is the reason we chose to be here in a physical body, to love, to learn, and to express joy. How judgment actually does work is if I pass judgment on myself for how I look, or the lessons I've learned, or the mistakes that I've made, those judgments that I make on self stay within my auric field. And yes, people do judge us, family, friends, co-workers, strangers. But what they're actually judging is not what you've done. They're not judging what you've done. They're not judging what you have said to them. What they're judging and what they're reacting to is the energy within your own personal, physical, energetic reality that is your holographic field around your physical body. That is what other people are judging you. Again, people are not judging you on your words, your looks, anything else, okay? We've all known people like this. I could give hundreds of examples. There may be a person that you would think, oh, that person's, doesn't look like a model, okay, or whatever. That person, you make a looks judgment, okay? But people don't even judge your looks on your actual looks. They judge your looks, your behavior, your spoken word, not on those physical things, but the energy you hold within your auric field, which is your self-judgment. I had a child. I was not married. Nobody in my family judged me for that. None of my friends judged me for that. Strangers never judged me for that. Nobody ever judged me for having a child out of wedlock, ever in my life. My son is 28 years old. And why wouldn't they judge me? People judge that kind of thing all the time. I'll tell you why. Because it didn't mean anything to me, right? So I knew that the relationship I had itself was not the right relationship. But the moment I knew I was pregnant, I knew that I was bringing a child of light, a child of God onto this planet. And that's the only thing I held in my auric field. I did not hold any self-judgment, any shame, any guilt. I held none of those things for getting pregnant and not being married or having a child out of wedlock. There was zero self-judgment from me about my situation, and everybody just accepted it. So whatever you accept in yourself, whatever joy you extend to your circumstances in life, no matter how trying, no matter how traumatizing, whatever you hold as your self-judgment is the energy that is in your energy field, and that's what people read, and that's what people judge. And I want you to know that, because that means if you're judging or shaming or down on yourself for the way you look or the way you act or the things that you've learned, all you have to do is simply release it, and your family, your friends, your coworkers, the people at the checkout in front of you, no one will any longer make a judgment on you for something unless the energy of judgment, shame, guilt is being read by that person from your auric field. Now, do they know they're doing this? Of course not. But try it. If there's anything in your life that causes guilt or remorse or shame or embarrassment, try losing that and see what happens with your family, your friends, coworkers, strangers, the people around you. Try doing that and see what happens, because I guarantee you that will completely disappear from your life and your reality, because again, it's your own self-shame, self-judgment, self-ridicule about your life, your lessons, and the beautiful, beautiful things that you've learned. It's only you. It's only me. It's only us judging us that puts the energy in our auric field that then gets read by others. And that's when the negativity comes in, because you carry it and other people recognize it. So nobody ever reacted to me in a shameful way. No one ever talked to me in a shameful way for not being married and having a child. But I can assure you, I saw other people talking to other people in a very negative way about the exact same thing. So the only difference in that scenario is me not holding shame, remorse, guilt, or having any issues with self for what I created. I created life. I was proud of that. And I knew that that child and that life that I created was beautiful, was brilliant, and was going to be born a child of God, as I was born unto my mother a child of God. That's the only thing I knew at 23. And at 23, that's what I held in my field. That's what I carried around with me. And that's how people reacted to my situation. It is us that makes the judgment on us. So try it. Experiment with your life. Be creative. This Aries full moon is about being fiery and being passionate and burning the obstacles to your path forward. So if your path forward is being hindered by the obstacle of carrying guilt or shame for things that you've said or things that you've done, try letting it go and see the change in how people react to you. I don't get a bad reaction from people no matter what I say I do. I could tell a priest that I do tarot cards, and you would think that you're going to get a certain kind of reaction out of that, but I don't, because I don't expect it. I don't feel it, and I don't hold it in my field. I am not going to take up too much of your beautiful Sunday here. The last thing I want to talk about, and I've talked about this before, but it's coming to my attention so much in the last couple of days. I want to briefly tell you something. Your higher self is the only person that has permission to come and speak openly to you without asking me to speak to you. I have talked to so many people that said, I don't talk to my ancestors, I don't talk to interdimensional beings, I don't talk to crossed over relatives. But yet, when I speak to them, their auric field is surrounded by beings just waiting to talk to them. So, why are those beings not talking to them? Or are they just not hearing those beings? Here's the truth about multidimensional reality when it comes to telepathic conversations, whether that's your ancestors on the other side, your ancestors from thousands of years ago in Egypt, interdimensional beings, extraterrestrials, angels. Higher self is the only exception. Higher self is the only person by cosmic law. It's you. So by cosmic law, you don't need permission from you to speak to you. Okay? All of those other beings that sit in the fields of people that tell me they don't talk to these beings, they don't experience telepathic communication on the other side of the veil, be that whoever that may be that wants to get your attention. And the reason for that is because that is breaking cosmic law. So, a lot of times I know that many of you will feel like there is someone in your apartment, or there's someone who wants to speak to you, or there's someone hanging out in your auric field. And the reason you feel that way is because that's the reality of multidimensionality, and that's what's happening. So you may feel like someone's watching you or someone's there with you, and you may get paranoid for a moment and think that it's the government, which is partially correct. But it's not that, okay? What it is this. It is against cosmic law in this universe to speak until spoken to. So when I talk to people and they say, I don't have these telepathic conversations, this is not something that's happening for me, but it's happening for everybody I know. Well, when it first started happening with me, I ignored it for quite a while. I don't remember how long, because it's been a long time. And then one day I was at home by myself and I was like, is there somebody here? And immediately I knew there was somebody here. And so I said, is there somebody here? Do you have something you want to say to me? They will not speak in accordance with universal law until they are spoken to, until they receive an invitation to be spoken to. So if you feel like someone's hanging out with you, if you feel like there's an energy in your field that it feels comfortable, you need to ask, who's here? Do you have something you want to say to me? Now, I will make a suggestion on this, right? Because though this is cosmic law, a lot of beings do not adhere to this cosmic law. They infringe upon free will. But anything benevolent, meaning anything in the highest service to you and to planet Earth, will tell you who they are and why they are here, but not until you speak to them. If you have someone showing up and telling you things, giving you information outside of your higher self, okay, your higher self is going to blurt things out. While you're doing laundry, while you're doing dishes, maybe you're running down the road, I don't know, your higher self is just going to jump in there. It's going to happen. These other beings have to ask permission. So if you have someone showing up to you, speaking to you, and they haven't asked your permission, and they haven't told you who they are, and you haven't invited them in, they are not benevolent. They are malevolent. Now, because they are malevolent, that means they don't have your highest good in mind or the highest good of planet Earth. Doesn't necessarily mean that they will 100% be giving you negative information per se. just means they will show up and just start speaking in your ear, telling you what to do, maybe, or giving you advice, or giving you back channel information. Depends what it is. Everybody's totally different. Okay. But I know people who have experienced this. One of my girlfriends a couple years ago called me and told me that a being showed up to her and told her the name of her twin flame, soulmate, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And I told her that is against cosmic law. If you guys ever look at the codex for this universe, there is a non-interference clause in soul connections, period, end of story. Okay. I could talk to Ashtar Command. I could talk to Archangel Michael till I'm blue in the face. If I asked who the other half of my soul was, or any kind of relationship, anything, you could hear a pin drop. You could hear crickets. That is against the law of this universe to give you. So if someone shows up and starts giving you that kind of information, claiming, validating, invalidating soul connections for you, past life connections for you, extraterrestrial information, earth information, spear being alliance information, whatever. And all of those things are happening to everyone because we're becoming multidimensional. What I'm saying to you is this is where you're going to need to do one of two things. If you are, and so many people are, is the reason I'm mentioning this, feeling like someone is sitting in your energy field, or someone's watching you or listening to you or whatever, it is most likely not the government, okay? It is most likely someone in your field wanting to be invited in to have a conversation because it's against the free will law codex of this universe to do otherwise. If someone's showing up and blurting out any kind of information from personal to disclosure, and they're not telling you who they are, they're not asking you if it's okay to have a conversation with you, that is malevolent and not in alignment with what you want to do. I also make a suggestion if you feel like you are being watched or you feel a presence around you, okay? Whether that be your grandmother on the other side, Archangel Michael, whoever it is, just stop and close your eyes and ask, is someone here? Does someone want to speak to me? Okay, but I do suggest this one thing because there are so many beings that are so willing at this time of personal and universal disclosure, wanting to speak about so many different things to us as individuals, that when you ask, is there someone here? Is there someone that needs to or wants to speak to me, and ask who they are? You can say anything you want, but I always do some sort of a very simple vetting process, okay? Because you want to know what you're inviting in. So I says, for example, I say, okay, I know someone's here. I know someone's in my field. Who are you? What is the reason that you're here? They'll tell me who they are, what the reason is they're here. And I say to those beings, and you can kind of phrase this, and telling you, this is just what I do. I say to those beings, my only interaction and my only intention is to speak with those beings who have my highest interest at heart and the highest interest of planetary freedom and liberation. And when I say that, they immediately start talking to me. And if they were a being that came for malevolent reasons, that is not for my highest good or the highest good of this planet, they're gone like that. Okay. But we don't want to just invite anybody in to have a conversation. Well, I don't think you do anyway. Maybe I don't know all of you that well, but I just know this is such an incredible time of multidimensionality. So many people are experiencing this energy showing up in your field. Who's there? Why are you there? What do you want to speak about? Why aren't they speaking? They're not speaking because they're waiting for an invitation. and to do so otherwise would be an infringement upon your free will and the Codex for Universal Law in this sector of the galaxy. Okay, I want you to know that because there are so many ancestors, okay, ones that you knew in this lifetime and ones from thousands of years ago that you never knew, that have important messages, that have things that they want to say to you, encouragement, fire, passion, desire, creativity, lessons learned that they want to share with you. But again, they won't. And that's why so many people experience, after a loved one passed over, they feel like that person's there, but then they don't understand why. If that person is actually really there, why aren't they speaking to me? I must be making this up. They are following the free will codex of this universe. Speak when spoken to, speaking upon invitation, okay? And I think this is important for you to know, because like I said, we're going at a time and a speed and a space within physical reality and within multidimensionality right now, where so many ancestors and guides and beings want to talk and give you support and encouragement. They know what a difficult time this is. They also know that they can't speak to you until you invite them. So I hope that that's helpful, judging by the amount of people that I've spoken to in the last 6 months, that I could see from thousands of miles away and even overseas in phone conversations, that people had ancestors and crossed over loved ones and interdimensional beings and Pleiadians and Syrians and Arcturians and Andromedans that wanted to have a conversation with you. So if you feel that and you want to delve into that, if that's something that you're wondering why it's happened to so many people, but it's not happening to you, that's the reason. Like I said, and this is not based in fear, but just put out what your intention is. I only intend to speak to people that have my highest good and the highest good of this planet. Now, that's simple enough. That covers it. Anybody that doesn't have the highest good of your personal life and your personal ascension path forward and the personal freedom and liberation of this planet have to disappear when you make a statement about what you are inviting, what you will accept. Okay? It's imperative for you to know that. Be in wonder, be in joy, be in passion, be in exploration. Okay? Be an explorer within the cells of your own body. Explore yourself within. Ask who's hanging out in your field. Speak to your higher self. And if you're speaking to your higher self and you don't feel like you're hearing anything or getting any answers, it's a slow process initially. But I can't say it'll be a slow process now, because this is a process that started many years ago for me, and the energy and the DNA upgrades and all of that is moving things so much faster. But what I am saying to you is, if you're hearing just one word at a time and you think, oh, well, that's just my mind playing tricks on you, it's not. It's your higher self. But when you write that one word down, really look at that word. What does that word mean to you? Maybe even Google the definition of the word or the symbolic meaning of that word, and you will see that there's something so much more brilliant than you thought in that simple word that's being expressed to you. For me, it was one word at a time until I trusted it, until I let it guide me, until I wrote it down, until I explored it, until I illuminated it. And it expanded to the point where now it's just a constant flow. But if you're hearing things and making a judgment or telling yourself you're crazy or just hearing the collective or whatever, when the collective gets super strong, right? Full moon, this happens, solar events, this happens. But the rest of the time, it's more likely that it's your higher self and not the collective that you're actually hearing. So speak to yourself, trust in yourself, believe in yourself, illuminate yourself, and shine the light upon yourself, upon really who you are at a soul level, and trust what the response is. Trust what the feedback is. When you speak out loud, there is a reverberation in this universe, in this multiverse, and in this omniverse that hears you. And some people call it God, and you can call it whatever you want. But it's the unlimited potential of the quantum field. So you ask for something. You ask to be, say you're experimenting with your life, any facet of your life, okay? So go to yourself, go within yourself and say, higher self, show me who you are. Tell me who you are. Show me how my experiment in this game called life is working in the 3D physical reality. How am I manifesting? How are my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings, the things I'm putting out there? How are those things being shown to me? You ask and then pay attention to what's happening. And I mean all of it, because higher self can come through in a million different ways, okay? If you're asking yourself every day for 2 months, should I move? And you ask your higher self, tell me higher self, should I move? Should I do it? Should I follow my passionate desire to move? And you see a U-Haul drive by you within 30 seconds of asking that question, that's your higher self, okay? Because your higher self, synchronicity works the opposite of the way people think it does. People are like, oh, well, they didn't just put up that billboard of a wedding dress when Jessie asked if she was going to get married. Your higher self knew the wedding billboard for the wedding dress was around the corner and prompted you to ask the question. Your higher self knows that U-Haul is coming around the corner and saying, Tina, ask that question now. And then you see the U-Haul. So know that your higher self comes to you in a multifaceted, miraculous, rainbow plethora of different ways, not just in speaking to you, okay? It may blow in as a piece of trash from the street to your yard that gives you an answer to the question. It may be the U-Haul driving down the street. When you ask the quantum field of unlimited potential and creativity within you, within this universe, to align and give you the answers you seek, the answers will come in traffic, they will come in phone conversations, they will come in songs, they will come in pictures, they will come in numbers. So however that's coming to you, even little piece by little piece, write it down and put that together. That is your answer. And when you do that, higher self will start speaking to you and showing up in the morning for coffee. Hey, let's talk about editing videos, Tina, or whatever. That's how this works, okay? But if you can't trust one word or one piece of trash or one moving vehicle to deliver a sign to you, higher self doesn't show up at 5 a.m. for yoga and coffee to discuss your forward momentum. It's little by little. But if you're just starting to do this now, in the energy, speed, and velocity which decisions are being made, this energy and speed and velocity which the quantum field is being accessed by your higher self, by every aspect of you, is phenomenal. You just trust yourself. Just write it down, look at it, Google the word, look at the symbolism, look at numerology, what that number means that you keep seeing over and over and over again. And most importantly, what you're thinking or feeling at the time you see that repeated number. That is how higher self starts to speak to you. And we're at a time when the speed and velocity of being spoken to by the fractals of higher self are unlimited. So in your trusting, in your knowing, in your believing, in your faith, in your inner hope, in your inner joy, in your inner knowing that this is true. You will be shown a way, but you have to have trust. You have to write it down. You have to look at it and you have to say, this is from me. This is me guiding me. And as soon as you do that, the flood of information will start for you. I promise. I really, really do. And I never mean to insult anybody. Everything that I've ever said to you is true. Doesn't mean that other things aren't true. Doesn't mean that other perspectives aren't true. Because the further up the rung of the DNA we move into multidimensionality, the further you will realize that every single vantage point and every single piece of information coming from every direction has truth to it. That's why it's called a higher vantage point, because you can see more, you can know more. Okay? This is a process of seeing into yourself, believing in yourself, and illuminating yourself. I love you. Thank you for being here. Know that I once had the very perspective that God was a man in the sky. Know that I once had the very perspective that 3D relationships were the way to go. Everything I talk about now is not the revelation I had 20 years ago or even 5 years ago. Okay? It was 5 minutes ago or 5 days ago. So I'm talking to you about now. Also doesn't mean when I say something, like some of the things I said in yesterday's video, doesn't mean that believing in something that is not the full picture is negative. It doesn't mean that believing in something that's not the full picture is detrimental to you in any way. It's just not the full picture. And that was all that I was meaning to say yesterday when I said that God is the unlimited potential within the quantum field to create. And you are not being judged by any God in the sky or any being out there external from you. Nothing external from you is judging you. The only thing that external from you that is judging you is judging not what you've done and what you've said, but the energy about how you hold what you've done and what you've said and the lessons that you've learned in your field. Thank you for being here. I love you. Endlessly, endlessly, endlessly. I love you and I thank you so much for your support. I've had a couple people reach out to me in the last couple days and ask me if I'm okay and tell me that I'm disappearing. Yes, I'm aware of that. And I have lost 40 something pounds in this last year. And people are checking on me and messaging me, and thank you. That's so very sweet of you. But believe you me, I love food, and believe you me, I love food, and believe you me, I'm eating like crazy, okay? I'm just on a really strict diet. Crazy, okay? I'm just on a really strict diet. That's all. Thank you for caring. Thank you for taking the time to let me know that you're concerned, to ask me that if I'm eating. And trust me when I say, you never have to ask Tina if she's eating, okay? I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of my life and a part of my brilliance and a part of my illumination and a part of my multidimensionality. Thank you for letting me express who is me at a soul level without ever feeling like I have to lie to you, that I have to hold back from you, that I have to keep secrets from you. And thank you for so much feedback and letting me know that at a soul level it is okay to open up and express my fiery passion about life, about these changes, about multidimensionality without judging me. You don't know how amazing it feels to be open, to be vulnerable, and to be joyful, and have so many brilliant people understand my need for self-expression, and my need and my want and my desire to assist people with the things that I know everyone's going through. Okay. And we're all at different stages in this, but anything I've already been talking about, anything that I've talked about it because I've experienced it and made so many notes after notes after notes on it till I really understood to the best of my ability what I could. And that is what I share with you. And a lot of times I'm prompted. I know there's something inside of me that wants to be spoken to you, and I have no idea what it is. But I've been prompted for many months to get on here and share that with you as well. As nerve-wracking as that was for me, that is now what I'm doing 90% of the time, is getting on here and sharing the true essence of what is coming through my DNA with you in the now moment. And thank you for accepting me in that way. Thank you for loving me in that way and letting me be the soul that I am in this beautiful avatar, and expressing all of everything that I go through and I share with you. Thank you so much for allowing and inviting me to do that. And thank you for being a part of that with me. And thank you for your own brilliance and your own awakening and your own enlightenment, because you are such shiny, beautiful, beautiful people. And we're waking up this planet. I love you. Thank you. Bye.